Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Hockrattle, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And today I will be unpacking my 57 reasons why LaRue's Bulletproof is the Sweet Caroline of our generation. I'm kidding. Hey, everybody, welcome. This is the Daily Creative Challenge. Hello, we are here for Illustrator. My name is Andrew Hockrattle again, and I'm so excited that you are here and hanging out with me today. We are, I think, 8 days into our Daily Creative Challenges, so we have today and tomorrow left. If you've joined us for the whole journey, thanks for being here. Let me know where you're watching from in chat. Everyone knows that that's my favorite thing to do, so go ahead and put that in there. Lots of familiar faces. Mercurial Forte, Stephanie is here, Sherry, and of course our friend Steve Festus Casaboom, my favorite name. And yes, it's true. Bulletproof by LaRue. It's the Sweet Caroline of our generation. Think about it. So we're going to go ahead and hop in, and I'm going to tell you how you can get involved. Right here, you can go to behance.net/challenge/illustrator. If you've missed any of the challenges, we've been doing this for almost 2 weeks now. We've made our way through. We started out with a little bit of Halloween fun, and we've moved into a fall festival. And so we went through and we had a jack-o'-lantern, we made some ghostly type, we painted our faces, created a costume using patterns, we made some candy using warps, and we're going to go back to warps a bit today. We did some foliage, some leaves yesterday. And today we are making a typographic banner. We're going to be doing a ton of warps as well as some distorts to play around with type. We're also going to be integrating Adobe Fonts into our workflow and showing you how to access that directly from Adobe Illustrator. So hello, Sean from San Diego. I'll be out there a little bit in the beginning of December. So hello. And hi from Washington State. Hey, Julie. So the other thing that I want you to know, oh, this is a vibe right here. All right, we had too much coffee this morning. You can go to behance.net, and on your profile, you can post a case study of all of the different projects that we've done over the last 2 weeks. You can submit this and make sure you tag AI Daily Challenge. And tagging AI Daily Challenge will allow you to be able to get featured here on this gallery of creative challenges. How cool would it be to get featured in a Behance gallery? So make sure you post those and use the tag AI Daily Challenge. As you're filling out that case study, it'll pop up and say, hey, where do you want this to go? What tags do you want to add? And you can just add in there the tag of AI Daily Challenge before you publish. All right, so continuing on, like I said, today we are talking about typography. And typography is all about letters. It's all about words. It's all about the distance between them and how we distort them. So we're going to be creating a really cool fall festival banner today. Now, I'm going to kind of show you how I lay out my type and the ideal I kind of put onto the paper before I jump too far in. So let's go ahead and hop in. And thanks, Wade, for tagging that for us. Wade is our moderator. Everyone in chat, if you have questions, you can ask them to me or ask them to Wade, and he'll be happy to help you. So let's go ahead and hop into Adobe Illustrator. We're going to lay out the roughs of how we lay out our type, and then we're going to continue on and figure things out from there. So join me on a journey into a fall wonderland. We're here back. We are in the leaves and in the woods, and I carried a pumpkin moment for a second. Yes, there are some very blatant inconsistencies in that video. So tomorrow I'll warn you and see if you guys can pick out some of the inconsistencies, like a little game. So let's go ahead and hop over into Illustrator and look at what we're doing today. We will be making a festival banner using Adobe Fonts and Warp tools. So today, Adobe Fonts, Warps, super easy, just a couple things. And then we are going to hop on the hayride and go bobbing for apples. Get some bobs in there. Any bobs in chat? Let me know. Shout out to the bobs in chat. Or if you have a bob haircut as well, go ahead and put that in chat as well. All right, so we're going to hop over here, and this is the shape that we're going to be using for our banner. Now, we are going to skew it to kind of fit this later, so what I'm going to do is actually take this angle away. I'm just going to use the pen tool to make a line here so that I can kind of see where it goes, and then use the direct selection tool to grab these two anchor points and click and drag holding shift to just straighten that out. So now we have the dimensions of what we want to work with on our typographic poster. Let's go ahead and put a stroke on this just so we can see where we're working. And then I'm just going to lock this down. It's basically just going to be a guide for us. So I'm going to go to Object, and I'm going to go to Lock, and I'm going to lock the selection. So now we can't mess with it. Won't get in our way, which is really great. So continuing on, I like to lay out first where I want the kind of poster to go, kind of the pieces that I want there. Now I know that I want to do a shape up here in the corner that's maybe like a sticker. So I'm going to do a sticker here, and it's really important to have balance. Right now we're looking for visual balance, and so I want a sticker there. Maybe we want some kind of block up here to really balance it out. And maybe this block, instead of just being a block like that, is maybe something that comes here at an angle. So this is just super rough, and again, we're just using the pen tool to kind of map out where we want things to go. So if you think about type, it is not just letters, especially when you're working like this. You almost want to think of it as space. So I already see that this is getting too close to that edge, so I can grab these and I'll just drag them down to say, hey, I want to make sure that I stay within that edge, and that looks good to me. So next, I know that I want a big headline, and so that big headline, I'm going to drag out here right there, just so it's a big headline, and we're already off center. Again, you can see this very easily as we group these, and I'll just drag it right there to the center. So this is something that I do want to see in your challenges at the end, which we will be posting at bit.ly/AI Discord. You'll post that right over here in the feedback channel. Wait for it. All right, not going to show up. Let's try this one. All right, so it will be right over there in the feedback channel. I want you to post that, and I'd love to see both your layouts for hierarchy and how things are kind of balanced, as well as the final type pieces. So we're over here. We're started to lay out kind of the hierarchy that we want, and then I kind of want to do this little swoopity. So I'm just using the brush tool here, and again, this is pretty much just the equivalent of sketching. Maybe here we have a nice little rise with those, and then another one over here to kind of even that out. And then down at the bottom, I definitely want to do some kind of like arc, right? Whenever I think about festivals, I always think of this shape that has this kind of like sign shape, and then maybe something underneath that kind of fills it in. So we're just gonna join these and then turn them into shapes right there. Same thing up here, join these, and what I'm doing is just selecting them and hitting Command or Control J, and that will switch it, and then to switch, Shift X. So now we've got the kind of layout that we want. Feels like it's getting a little bit crowded in a couple places, but we are going to go, and yes, the swoopity tool. It looks like we're getting crowded in some places, but we'll figure that out as we go. So I'm going to move this over to the side for now. We're actually going to move it down to the corner so it doesn't get in our way. And I'm going to start working first on this type. So this type up here, oh, let's do this. Let's not do that, but I'm going to show you how to do it. We're going to move this aside. If you want to, you can select these and hit Command 8. Nope. You can go to View Guides and make guides, Control 5. And it's actually going to turn these into guides. So now we can see that they are guides here. We can't suggest them or click them, but it allows it to have a guide there that we could use. So you can do that if you want. We're not going to do it today. So the first thing I'm going to do is maybe up here, we're going to put the word family, right? We want this to be a family event. And when we're looking for type, I know that I want something that has this kind of serif. And so I can open my type tools by hitting Command or Control T, and then going in here. Now, I've already found Roboto Slab, which is one that I really like to use, but we also can go into Find More, and you can use these filters. If you want a nice slab serif, you can do there, and then maybe we want something thicker, and so actually, let's say that this looks a little bit better. Abril text looks a little bit better, so we're going to click on the cloud, and it will download and sync that all the way through so that we can then immediately use it in Adobe Illustrator. So it's syncing from the cloud still, and it's thinking, and I believe, there we go, we have it now. And I forgot what it was called, Abril, there it is. So now we have it, it is saved, and what I'm going to do to grab this kind of shape over here is I'm actually going to rotate this by about 20 degrees. Let's do 40. So we're going to rotate by 40 degrees, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shear, and shear is going to take it and kind of make it lean. So I'm going to shear, over here underneath the scale tool, and we'll hit enter, and we'll shear by the same amount. So we're going to shear by 40 as well. So we'll hit OK. So it's rotated by 40 and sheared by 40. It's a little aggressive, but we can drag it up. Let's do this. Let's scale it here, and we can still come in and augment this type if we want to. So I do actually want it to be a little bit taller. So we're just going to make that taller, and now we've got some nice tall type to fit in that space that we had right there. So that is a rotate as well as a shear, and then we have changed the height to kind of just push it up. So for there, we'll add some little accents, but I really want to jump into this kind of bubble over here. So this bubble right here, let's go ahead and make our circle. Now what we can do is we're going to make this a kind of a weird wobbly circle by going to Effect, Distort and Transform, and go to Roughen. We're going to set the detail very low so we can get some cool wobblies. And then we're going to set this size to like 1. There we go. Take this down to maybe 3. There we go. Get some really weird blob. All right, we're going to go to Object and Expand, and now we have this weird blob over here. And what we can do, and a lot of people do this with like stickers and like cool hip stuff, is we can grab this, and what we do is just scale it down. So we are going to scale down so we have it a little bit more on the inside. And from here, maybe we're going to put a special word. So maybe the special word is just, let's say, free. Right? We want people to know that this is free. So we're going to grab some type here. I'm just going to use, bitter bold that is here. We'll reset this to 100 so it's not so tall. And from there, what we're going to do is we are going to be taking this shape and using it as a guide for where this type needs to go. So it's going to make this type really weird and wonky, but what we're going to do is select the two, make sure that our shape is on the front, so bring to front. And then we will select those two and watch this. Go to Object, Distort, and Make with Top Object. What it's going to do is take that type and throw it into that top object. And there we go, make it really weird and wonky, which is exactly what we wanted to do. So now we can come in, and of course, this text is still editable. So maybe if we didn't want to make it free, maybe it was $10, we could very easily put the $10 in there, change the color, whatever we want, and it stays the same in those shapes. So this is something you'll see a lot, especially on like Instagram right now. A lot of people are doing these stickers. So that's how you do it. Select those two, and Expand Appearance takes it from being a stroke into being a shape. So we have those down, and next I want to kind of do, let's do this at the bottom just to make sure that we get into it because it is one of my favorite things. So down here I want to have a couple of words, and maybe this will say seasonal, right? When we will say seasonal harvest at the bottom, and that means, you know, that we have all of the things that you'd want at a farmer's market. So I'm going to do the word seasonal. And we're just going to blow it up using the scale tool. So pretty big. And here I want it to be something that is a little different. So we're going to clear all. And I found this great font on Adobe Fonts. There we go. Called, let's see here, Celestia. So it looks great. And what I want to do is create this little curve that I have here, right? That we have a curve on the bottom, but then a curve on the top that fills that same size. So with this selected, it is still live text. We're going to go to Effect, Warp, and over here we're going to go to Arc Lower. An arc lower, what that's going to do is it's going to make it right so that it swoops, so that it is having an arc only on the bottom part, but the top part stays consistent. Now, what I want to do, right, I'm thinking through, I want it to have the arc going the other way. So instead of bending so that it goes down, we're going to bend it negatively so that it goes up. Now this is a little bit of a trick. If you go too far, it's going to actually invert that text all the way. We don't want that. So we're going to make it so that there's just a little bit of an arc there and hit OK. And here's where the little cheat comes in. We're going to take this type and just scale it in. We're just going to squish it, because when we squish it, because it has the warp on it, it's actually going to create a lot a better version of that curve. So we're going to go in here, and if we want to, we can edit the curve by going to our appearance panel and just making that a little bit more. So now we have this awesome, perfect little curve there, right? Looks great. And if we want to, maybe we don't say seasonal, maybe we say fall harvest. And what it's going to do is, again, it's going to continue to have that warp. And when you're doing this warp using this technique, if you do something longer, you are going to have to come in here and, again, just keep squishing it in and augmenting type, especially with the warps, because the warp is affecting it. Sometimes you need to go back in and re-affect it. So we're going to come down here and we're going to make one more line, and let's say that we want this to be, let's say, squashes. Actually, let's do zucchini. Zucchini. I don't know if that's how you spell it, but let's pretend that that's how you spell zucchini. So we want people to know, hey, we've got some good zucchini. We've got, oh yeah, let's do that one. So we have some cool zucchini. We're going to just line this up. And from here, we're going to go to Effect, Warp, and this time instead of Arc Upper, we're going to do, instead of Arc Lower, we're going to do Arc Upper. And now you can see that we can start to fill in that same kind of curve to match them up. We'll hit OK. And again, we're just going to come in here and drag this in. And it looks actually like we got pretty close. Let's scale it just a little bit, see if we can get those edges. And then again, we can come in here and do some fine tuning. Maybe we want it to come down just a little bit and hit OK. And there we go. It looks like we've locked this in. It's looking pretty good. So we'll scale it up, and there we go. We have a very nice accent to our poster down at the bottom. Looking good. So let's go ahead and do this one right in the middle, and this is going to be a rise. A rise basically takes the text, and from one starts at a point, and then the other one rises to another point. And so for here, let's see what we want to do. Let's say the word, let's do a date. So let's do October. So this is happening in October. And we're going to use the eyedropper tool to simply make sure that we are matching the type. So now we've got the type matched to what we have up here. We're not using too many typefaces. And we're going to put October right in the middle of this design and go to Effect, Warp, and Rise. Again, rise is starting one place, ending another. If we bend it backwards, it is going to rise from the top to the bottom. If we go the other way, it's going to go from the bottom to the top. From the top. So this is where we want to start at the bottom, go to the top, and hit OK. And there we go. And this is still live text, and so we've actually made an error here. It's not going to be in October. It's actually going to be in November. And you can see, as we continue to type that out, it is going to change and update for us because it is all live. If we go into Outlines mode, it is all live text. It's been squished a little bit down here, but you actually can do this without doing any of the warps. You can go in and change them all, and then you can apply the warps after the fact and have something like this. So now we've got this awesome little rise right here. And what we can do is maybe we want to follow this curve a little bit. So we're going to come down to the bottom of where this is, and we're just going to click here, and then make a little bit of a, line. Sorry. With the pen tool, we're holding Alt or Option to drag to the right, and that's just telling us, hey, from this point, we're going out to the right, and then from this point over here, we're going to continue. Oops, I hit the wrong button. We are going to continue going that way, and it's going to follow that curve for us. So it looks like we didn't go quite far enough here. There we go. And then pull this out a little bit, and there we go. We're following that pretty well. Grab the pen tool and just close that out, trying to follow that curve. Now we want to do the same thing on the other side, but because we are using the warp tool, it will be symmetrical. So we can simply grab it and then pull it up here to make sure that we are perfectly symmetrical with our poster right there. And from here, we can start plugging things in. Maybe we want to plug some stuff into these spaces. Maybe, and again, there's no rules. Maybe we just want to squish this down. Do a nice little squish on that so that we have some more space. And from there, let's just change this a little bit. Oh, we don't have much time to change it. All right, it's fine. Maybe there we want to put in some other type. We can say join us. And a little bit of a lighter. Maybe do something like this. And we'll do that in white and put it just right here. So maybe do join us and November 10th at 10th at 9 p.m. Cool. So that's when our event is going to be. And we are creating this, and we want to do one more thing before we wrap up. Is we want to take this poster, and we didn't quite get to finish on this stream, but hopefully you will have time in your work and then post it on our Discord. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this whole thing and we are going to now convert it to outline. So we want to keep a copy of this, but we're going to grab the whole thing, and this needs to be black. See, I'm getting distracted. So this needs to be black. So we're going to grab this whole thing here, and we are going to make it outline. So with this all selected, we are going to Object, Expand Appearance, and now you can see, Object, Expand. Sometimes you need to do twice. Now you can see it is all anchor points instead of being live type. And from there, I want to make sure that it fits on our poster. So we're going to poster it right here. And from there, we are going to grab the Shear tool, which is right over here. And grabbing the Shear tool, we can click and drag to the right holding Shift, and it's going to start to shear this whole thing so that it has a little bit of an angle for it. So there we go. We've created a nice little angle, and we've put it on our sign, and it looks fantastic. So we can fill in some more text up here to really make it work. But what I wanted to show you was the different kinds of type that we were using. And again, check it out. It is all just flat type that's been augmented using warps and then kind of stretches, rotates, shears. So play around and create something amazing with your type. Try to use some different typefaces, explore and see what you can make. And then I want you to post right here at bit.ly/AI Discord. I'll be going live tonight, and we are going to be doing some reviews of those right over here in the challenge tab. Dan Ross looking great with his different brushes, and yes, using an art brush that repeats is very easy to do Christmas lights. So with the season coming up, you can do any kind of festive holiday lights using an art brush and just repeating it, because you don't need to do that manually. And then you can do large strings of lights very, very easily. So great job. Thanks for doing these challenges. I'll be live tonight doing some reviews, which you can follow right here on behance.net/hawk.co, and check that out. We'll be live a little bit later tonight. So to recap, here's what we did today. Let's hop into the forest so I can change windows and then come back. So today we worked with typography. We used Adobe Fonts, and we clicked on Command T or Control T to bring up our type panel, and we clicked on Find More. And in the Find More panel, we were able to see all of the fonts that we would ever need sitting in Adobe Fonts. We also were able to filter by type. So if we want something that's decorative, we can click there. If we want something that's thicker, we can also sample by those. If we want something that's wider, we can sample by that. And then maybe we want something that's a little more Roman. So we have all of the fonts that now fit the description that we have created. So you can play around and see what kind of cool typefaces that you can find there. From there, we typed a bunch of stuff out and applied a smattering of different kinds of effects to them. If you see over here, we have an arc upper and an arc lower, and we weren't afraid to squish that type so that it fit perfectly using our different arcs. So play around with that and post on Discord, and stay tuned, because right after this we have Erin Grace Johnson coming up with some packaging design, and then a little bit later today we have Jesus and Claudia doing the Rework It challenge. Kyle Webster is right before that doing the draw along, and Andrew Epi with the XD challenge. So stick around for the rest of the day, for literally however long you want to, and make sure that you join me tomorrow for our very last day of the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. Oh no. Tomorrow, here is a little brief. Tomorrow we will be making a thank you card to send to someone. So think of that person that you want to send it to, someone that you appreciate. Tomorrow we're making the card, and hopefully you'll print it out and send it to them. So I will see you all on the next episode of Daily Creative Challenge for Adobe Illustrator. See you tomorrow. Bye.